Good morning, all. I'm in a very good mood this morning. First of all, coffee, number one. Um, but I just got back from my eye doctor appointment. Not that you need to know all this information, but I'm going to say it anyways. Um, I have a glaucoma runs on both sides of my family line, and then I have always had really high pressure in my eyes, and so I've been on glaucoma watch for like a year and a half with my eye doctor, and he's kind of new. I got referred by my old one because my old doctor felt like I needed. My old doctor was really just the optometrist part, but said that my pressure was just high enough that it was beginning to bother her, and I should go see an ophthalmologist. So that's what I started doing, and I've been on that for a year and a half. And they don't really have a baseline of your issues, and so they kind of want to see you and establish that baseline. And the last time I was there, they were talking about some kind of surgery, and I asked him about it this time. I was so dumbstruck when he first mentioned it. I didn't even ask what it was or what it was for or what it would do. I was kind of like, so when I went back to my optometrist, I said, by the way, he mentioned some kind of surgery. Would you have any idea what that is? And she's like, did you ask him? And I'm like, no, I did not. I was too dumbstruck about the word surgery. I understand, you know how you hear stories about people hearing a word and then everything else is they're not listening? That was me on that particular day. So anyway, so I've been sweating it, and I didn't. This is so classic me, and it's probably everybody. But you know how you think I'm fine. He wasn't. He was so back and forth on it. He goes, let's revisit it next time, and blah blah blah. But it's been weighing on my mind and had been for some time, apparently, because I'm so giddy and relieved now because he checked everything. He said no sign of macular degeneration, which also runs in the family. No sign of glaucoma. No sign of cataracts. It's just nice and good, healthy eyes. He said you do have higher pressure than normal, but you have for a really long time. It's kind of your baseline. And the other good news is I have really thick corneas, so I guess that's good for that. So, anyways, he almost decided to not have me come back. I've been on this 6-month regimen. He almost had me not come back for a year, but he goes, you had that one weird reading a couple of times ago, and I feel like we kind of need to stay on top of that. So let's bring in another 6 months, and then if everything's looking good like it has the last 2 times, we'll get you off the watch list. So anyways, that's my news, and I'm very happy about it. So I'm here to do Top 10 Tarot for 22 tag by Lisa Pepez. And every time I see these tags, I think to myself, 10 easy schmeezy. And I know everybody says this. It's not easy at all, because if you have a large collection, you tend to work with a lot of them. And then, as you kind of rotate through, I call it my table of love. As I rotate decks on and off my table of love, I just, it's hard for me to ignore the ones that are no longer on the table of love and yet have been residing here for some time throughout the year. So in that regard, I've got 2 honorable mentions because I can't narrow it down to 10. So the first honorable mention is the Pixie Pop Tarot, and it's done by, I believe it's Jillian Wild. I think it's the same one who does other works. Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying to you. I thought I wasn't, but I thought it was, but I guess not. Anyways, so never mind. Anyways, it doesn't list the author's name on this. It probably does in the box, which I no longer have. Anyways, it says it's. I'm trying to look. Sorry, my eyes are still dilated, so I'm like looking, going, why can't I see? Just came from the eye doctor. I can't see. Now I know why. It just says other works: Pixie Pop Tarot, Pixie Classic Tarot, created by 2 independent female deck creators. But they don't say their names. Oh, it says. Yeah, it just doesn't say their names in here that I can find. Anyways, Oh, maybe I'm looking at the wrong card. Nope. Anyways, it starts out with the visionary card. That's Pixie Pamela Coleman Smith. And it astounds me that it took me this long to figure out. But for those who are also trying to figure out why she was called Pixie, I'm guessing it's because her initials are PCS, Pamela Coleman Smith. So Pixie, Pix. I totally get that. Anyways, so these are the backs, kind of nondescript, but the cards, holy moly! So I'll just show you a few. They're Rider-Waite Smith, absolutely. All the way down the line, but they're enhanced color-wise with just, I think that's what they refer to as the pop. That is the pop in the Pixie Pop Tarot. So, Death card. I love the purple in the back. So, in the Hermit. Oh, look at that blue. Jeebus. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. So the whole deck is like this. Oh, Two of Swords. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh my God, the blue is so deep and rich. The camera almost doesn't do it justice, just FYI. Here's another great one. They're all great. They're just, this whole deck is freaking great. If you love color, well, so that's number one. If you love color, oh, here's another one. All the classic cards. Classic, beautiful cards. The Moon. The whole deck is like this. And the other cool thing, if I could show you, let me dig out a regular tarot card here. So here's a regular tarot. And here's the size difference. So quite a bit shorter, quite a bit thinner. It is a freaking dream to shuffle. Just FYI. And I think I left a review on Etsy for this deck. It basically said that. I said, we don't need to even talk about the color because, geez, it's gorgeous. But, the size for anybody with smaller hands that's just tired. I've got these size hands that are just a little, like a smidge, too big, too small for a regular size tarot. So I really have to work at, I feel like my hands are getting stronger and more flexible, but I really have to work at shuffling them. And so to have a deck that I don't have to work at, right here, Pixie Pop Tarot. And I can't remember who did this beautiful cover, but I got this on Etsy also. It's just a wraparound, but the colors were just so that deck. So that's why I got that. This cover, on the other hand, has nothing to do with the deck, so FYI. But this deck was in the rotation for a long time this year, and it kind of fell off just because I got enamored with some other decks. But it's the Lion's Gateway Tarot. Its backs are like this. Kind of a pink and yellow, gold gilding, which I can give or take. I don't know why tarot deck people are still doing this shiny gold gilding. It just doesn't last. Maybe they figure that, as the deck wears, it adds to the antiquity nature of it, but I just find it annoying. And then this actually is really good because I don't remember it sticking together, but some decks are really bad. Like I got the, way back when, the Austero Tarot. Oh, what a mess. Sorry, but it was a silver gilding, if I recall correctly. And just chunks, literally chunks of cards stuck together. It was, I didn't like it. And you know what? When you start off with a deck like that, it's like the energy sticks to it for some reason, which is really annoying to me because I'm like, I just paid money on this deck and I've already infused it with negative energy. So anyways, the Lion's Gateway, this also is a colorful deck, and I just really like the artwork. Except I'm annoyed with Chariot cards that have reins. So, strike one, but that's okay. I still love this deck. It's just also quite colorful. Very kind of open and airy deck, which is I also like. Also totally based on Rider-Waite, but Rider-Waite-Smith, but just a whole kind of new, interesting take on it. I wouldn't call it modern, but I wouldn't call it. I don't know what I'd call it. It's just gorgeous. Page of Swords. Just trying to find always one of my favorite cards. Two of Wands. The Moon. Seven of Swords. I love him. Let's see the deep, rich colors. They're just stunning. Here's the Hermit for those who are always looking for the Hermit. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Love this deck. So, anyways, for those interested, I believe I got this on Etsy as well. The Lion's Gateway Tarot. Highly recommend. And I can't remember where I got this deck cover either, but I love it. Okay, so those are the two honorable mentions because I just couldn't. They were on the table of love for quite some time, and I just feel like I would be remiss if I didn't mention them. So coming up are my top 10 right now, as it stands right now. Well, it's not really. It's supposed to be for the whole year, and I guess in the end, these are the ones that I've been using the most when you add it all up. So first up is the Fifth Spirit Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess. This is just the best deck, but I will tell you the best. I mean, I love this deck. Let's just say that up front. Again, I really look for decks that are airy in their artwork. There's some basically because I just can't read the super busy decks. They're just like too. My hair, I feel like. They're just like too much visual information coming in, and I don't know if I think I mentioned this probably a million times, but for me, I absorb visual information really quickly. I'm not saying I analyze it or figure it out quickly. I'm just saying it comes into my brain really quickly. And decks like I think it's called the Relic Tarot or something like that. Visually stunning deck, beautiful collage deck, but when it gets to my head, it's just each image or each card's scrambled eggs. Just can't see it. So I have passed by that deck many times, but because I can't read it. So anyways, this is the Fifth Spirit Tarot. The thing that makes this deck is the guidebook. So much so that she actually has another book that I purchased that kind of just describes her process of each card and where the inspiration came from and stuff like that. But it's just the best guidebook. It's like written in my kind of style of language, I guess, is the best for me. And everybody has their guidebooks that they love. This happens to be mine. Well, there's several that I love, but this one in particular. Just found another one too. Which one was it? Might have been the Tarot of the Owls. I can't quite remember. But anyways, I just got one the other day that I started reading the guidebook. I don't normally read the guidebooks all that much. I've done a lot of study of other things, watch a lot of tarot too, but the guidebooks are just, unless it's a completely different system, I find that they're kind of all saying the same thing in the same way. But every once in a while, and for whatever reason, this one caught my eye, and it just, every time I read it, I was like, yes! Oh, I know what it was, the Faldor, can't even remember the name of it, but anyways, I just got it. It's a very interesting deck, but the guidebook is fabulous. Let me get up and figure out what that is. I'll be right back. Here it is, the Fyodor, I don't even know if I can pronounce it, Fyodor Pavlov Tarot. Very cool deck, by the way. I just got it. I haven't worked with it at all. But the guidebook is the bomb. Let me just tell you. First of all, it's a book. Like, it's a hardcover book. Fun pages. Fun pages. They're not fun. They're just pages. But they are very informative. And he really interjects his own thoughts, like where the artwork came from and why he did that. The only thing that was it didn't sour me on this at all, but the pages in the first, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but in the first several pages, obviously you can see the big creases in it. There's 2 of them, and it goes for about the third of the book. So somewhere along the way, these pages got hung up in somebody's printer machine. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, see it's on this side, I guess. Let me get it. But that's okay, because it's only a few pages and it doesn't bother me. But this book is great as well. I love it. I just started to work with it, so I can't put it on the top 10 list. But, yeah. So there you go. Anyway, so here's the Fifth Spirit Tarot backs. And the cards themselves are quite muted, which I really kind of like. As you can tell, I have a lot of colorful decks. So something a little more quiet is never a bad thing. And I just, these images are so great. 7 of Cups. Fool. I love the Fool. Just, again, very simple, very airy. One of my favorite cards is the Tower. House on Fire. Yeah. That's big. That to me is better than falling out of a tower, personally. 4 of Wands. I love that. The home fire is burning. So this is just a gorgeous deck. High Priestess. She's just got wiseness in her face. And the Hermit. Just, beautiful. So anyways, Fifth Spirit Tarot. I can't say enough about this deck. I haven't read with it a lot, but what I did read was always, it was very clear. And like I said, the guidebook is just the bomb. So, yeah. Definitely on the big time list. Next, in a Peggy bag. Keep asking. I buy so many Peggy bags, and they keep asking me to review them. And I reviewed like the first 3, and after that, it's like, what can you say? It's a Peggy bag. Perfect. There's several bags on the market that I really like, but I think it's this thing that I love the most. And they are reversible. I have one that I totally reversed, and I love it. So next on the list is my beloved Maraloon. She was really outside of a standard Rider-Waite deck. Maraloon was the first deck that I bought when I was getting back into tarot, and I absolutely love it. It's a watercolor deck. It's based on Rider-Waite, as most of these are. I try to study thoughts, but for some reason the imagery puts me off, and I don't know, I can't describe it, but it's interesting because I have a lot of decks where it kind of started out that way with me, where I'm like, ooh, I don't know why I bought this, I like it, but I don't like it, and I'll put it away, and then I'll revisit it like months down the road, and I'm like, what was bothering you about this deck? Anyways, this one is a deck that I almost didn't use for a while because I didn't want to wreck it. So then, in my watching TarotTube, I realized people have backup decks that I thought about it, but I thought that seems weird. But then I started hearing people saying, and I have a backup of this. I was like, okay, it's not weird. So I ordered a backup. But what I did order, this is my 3rd copy. This is the linen version of the Maraloon. Now, I love it. These are the backs. I will say the only con in my mind to the linen version is the imagery seems a teeny bit washed out. Now, if you're just what I found is if I'm just using this deck and not interchanging between this one and the one, I can't remember what this is. Papercraft. Does that ring a bell? It's one of those make-to-order card companies. Is it Papercraft? Something like that. The other one I bought from Make Playing Cards. So I love Make Playing Cards cardstock, actually. Some people think it's too thin, but I think when I have the smaller your hands, the more flexible you want the card. If it's a regular sized tarot deck, the more flexible you want it to be. But I love the linen I love the linen version. And if I put the two side by side, this one is clearly not as vivid. But if you don't do that, then you almost don't even notice it. So, I love this deck. 10 of Cups. It's all watercolor. Four of Swords. Ace of Wands. 10 of Wands. I want to find some of the cards that I just like. I love the Page of Wands. It's a very quiet I guess, people say they have hug decks. I think this might be my hug deck. It's interesting because it's not my first choice necessarily when I'm doing readings. Three of Swords. Thank you. I love this Three of Swords. Such a nice, as we all saw, the darn Three of Swords. That darn card. This is a beautiful Three of Swords. No blood, no hearts dripping. Just 3 swords through a rose. We all know what it means. We don't need the visual on that one, do we? No, we do not. Let's be clear with ourselves. Also one of my favorite gentlemen, the King of Cups. So regal, in front of the stormy ocean. Let me see if I can find another one that I love her. The High Priestess. And this doesn't get any better than that. Beautiful, beautiful card. Where's the? I'm just gonna dig out the Hermit because I know. Oh, here's my. That's me. I'm an Aquarian. Star card. Anyways, and the this is one of my favorite Chariot cards. Although she has range, so that's the downside. This would have been a beautiful card. Well, it's a beautiful card anyways, but she could have left the reins out and it would have been just as beautiful. I'm so picky about that. It's just certain cards. It's like, what's the other one? So I don't like reins on Chariot cards, and I don't like, what's the other one that I always look for? Now I can't. If it comes to mind, I'll mention it. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember which card it is. Anyways, so I love the Marloon, and it's available, like I said, at Make Playing Cards or at the other one that makes playing cards. I want to call it Papercraft, but I'm not sure that's right. So just if I think about it, I'll leave a link down below. But I'm new at this, so I don't even know if I know how to do that. We'll find out. Okay, next. This deck is one that I haven't worked with that much, but it intrigues me enough to keep it on the table of love because I really like it. And somebody just did a deep dive of it, so it might have been Lisa. Anyways, you all know it well. The Anna Kay. I edged it in brown, which I just love, kind of an antique brown. And you're all familiar with the image, so I won't show a lot of cards. It's just a really warm, cute deck. Well, that's not cute, but you know what I mean. Big swords, cowering person, whatever. Empress. And I know, it's funny because whoever I was watching was saying, and I think it was Lisa, but I'm not sure, was talking about how the imagery kind of put them off at first. And that's exactly what happened to me. And then I think when she did that, oh God, do I have cinnamon roll in my mouth again? Sorry, I do. It might have been going in that deep dive where suddenly I just kind of found the new appreciation for this deck, and it makes me want to work with it even more. Isn't that beautiful? I love that deck. Oh, good, that's card. Knight of Pentacles. Just kicking back, relaxing, or not the. Did I say king? I meant knight. I don't know what I said. Love the Hermit. High Priestess. This guy bothers me a little bit, but whatever. He looks like this. Remember that little kid that made the viral internet several years ago? It was a little kid who looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what this guy reminds me of. But anyways, beautiful deck. You all know the imagery. So Anna Kay. On the Table of Love, because I really want to work with it more. So next is I can't remember the name of it, and I bet, I don't think I have the book. Oh, thank God the guidebook's in here. It is the Fortuna Tarot. Here are the backs. And it comes with a significator card. And I got turned on to this deck by Simon, I think. And I just love it. So in comparison, I was going to say, let me compare it. I think it's a little taller. Oh, no, it isn't. It's the same size as a regular tarot height-wise, but it's a little thinner, which makes it a little easier to shuffle. So, and the images are just, they're colorful, they're interesting, again, totally Rider Waite. But I love it. I'm very attracted to color and clean images. Not too much going on, just enough going on. Love the 10 of coins here. And the castle coins raining down upon them. 2 of coins. Beautiful deck. And then he does name that I'm assuming it's a he that made this, names the kings. Chariot with reins, of course. Come on, people. Let's get the symbology correct. I'm so picky. It's it can, in a way, can be a little pippish. I mean, this is obviously a nod to the Tarot du Marseille, but it still has the imagery on it, which I really like. So, let's see, 8 of Swords. Maybe a little more Thoth related than I thought. I'm starting to look a little closer at these images. Devil is quite cool. So there's that one. The the Fortuna Tarot, Lo Scarabeo deck. Absolutely love it. Okay, next. Roll this back up, tie her down. I'm going to swing into 2 oracles that I dearly love. And I'm new at this, so I haven't posted this much, but I'll talk about these decks a lot. I'll just bring them up together. So one is the Antiquities and Magic Oracle. Wait, is it of? Antiquities of Magic Oracle. Jillian Wilde. Same one who did I always want to call it the Sacred Heart, and that's not it. Oh, you know what well, it says it in the book, I think. Maybe I should look it up. The Naked Heart. Not the Sacred Heart, the Naked Heart Tarot. So she also did that one, and Madame Woodland's Fortune Telling playing cards, which I also have. I love playing solitaire with that. So she Pixie Pop Tarot. She is the author of, that's what I thought, but I didn't acknowledge it in the book. Anyways, this comes with a cute little guidebook. The cool thing about this deck is that it's really good for me. It was really good for beginners. which I still am, because it's all based on imagery that you're going to find in the regular Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. And so it helps you learn the meanings of these images. For instance, dog is loyal, butterfly, transformation. And the art is just really pretty, and the way the colors pop against this kind of antique-y style background is just gorgeous. Wolf, instinct, floral bouquet, potential, wreath, honor. Just, so you just pomegranate, prosperity. You know all of these images from the Rider-Waite, lobster, inner growth, from the moon card. Pomegranate was from the Empress. See, I'm starting to learn this stuff slowly but surely. Anyways, so yeah, so this is just I want to show you my favorite card. It's probably, of course, at the bottom. Here it is, Ocean. I love this card. Release. So yeah, so this deck is just awesome. And the backs are very cute too. A little reminiscent of the Dark Mansion Tarot, is it? Anyways, yeah, so this is a great deck. So the Antiquities of Magic Oracle by Jillian Wild. I think it's available on Amazon. And then the Inner Compass Oracle. This is fairly new to me, but it has become my, what do you call it? I love this deck. I use it to head up all my rows of tarot. So I often say I usually don't come into tarot, or not often do I come in with a question. So the Inner Compass Oracle, these are the backs, are just great. It's an oracle deck of great, I love the imagery. I love the simplicity of the messages. I almost never use the guide. Does it come with a guidebook? Yeah, it did, a PDF book. But anyway, so it's like this. Empress. Oh, these are my cards from yesterday. Manifestation. Okay, something different. Magic. The moon. Intuition. These are just great cards. Here, I'll do one more. New Beginnings. Faith. It's just a stunning deck, and I just love it. And it's little, so it's perfect for my hands. And it comes in the most gorgeous little box, hard box. Love it. So those are my two oracles. Okay, next. Camera case. Turns out to be a great travel case for littler decks. Not necessarily big decks. And I suppose if you got a big enough one, it would work. But I carry even though it comes in a good box, I carry my Starseeker Tarot in here. Has a little pocket for the guidebook, and then the cards go here, and I zip it up. It's waterproof. Hard to beat. So yeah, live the little Starseeker Tarot. I love the big deck, but this, again, my hands are so small that I just love the little deck. And I just love her artwork. Nikki, I can't remember her last name. I've got to look it up. Nikki something. I watch her Instagram. She always says, Nikki here. So that's why I know her first name. Is it in here? Please tell me it's in here. Oh. Maybe not. I think it'd be right at the beginning, but it's not. So, Nikki something. Anyways, Love this deck. You all know who she is. You all follow her on Instagram. You know who she is. So there's the Two of Pentacles. I love the palette of this deck. It's just so calming. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. I'm sure you're all used to this imagery. Nine of Pentacles. Very much a similar color palette to the Marloon, but the artwork is so distinctly different, and I just love it. So, Star Seeker Tarot. Did I show the backs? Star Seeker Tarot. And the little deck is gilded in silver, but mine's almost worn away because I've used it so much, but it's there. See it a little bit. I didn't even notice that it was kind of holographic. So yeah, love the Star Seeker Tarot. So that was number 7, no, 8. So I got 2 more to go. So my sunflower wrap is the tarot. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was 7. I am leaving the best for last. So this is number 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is number 8. The Tarot de Maria Celia. Comes in a tin. Again, good for smaller hands. I love this deck. Again, it's a Marseille deck. I edged it in a kind of a gold antique-y brown. Very light. But it just goes perfect with, in my opinion, with the backs. But yeah, just, like I said, Tarot de Marseille deck. Very, well, I was going to say very pippish, but that's the nature of a Marseille deck. Let me get into it. But yeah, I love kind of the antique feel of it. I love the mixing up everything here. Come on. Thank you. The Magician. Is that the Magician? No, the Fool. Sorry. Knight of Wands. La Roue de Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. You do have to translate from French. That's where Google Translate comes in handy. Le Monde, the world. The Magician. So you get the idea. 2 of Pentacles. Really pretty deck. Really pretty deck. So that, I do travel with this one quite a bit. I don't know why, I really don't know why, I just do. It's one that tends to make the cut for the traveling. Okay, did I have one more? Oh, yeah. Wait, did I do this one already? I did not. Okay, so second to last, number 9 is The Pensive Path by Reese Marin. Beautiful deck. I got turned on to this deck by a Dawn Michelle, Boho Tarot. She did a walkthrough of this, and I was like, I have to have this deck, and I just love it. It's really cool. It comes with cards that have all the meanings of every, just little kind of reference cards if you need them. The backs are very simple. It is linen, so frickin' shuffles like butter. And it's just beautiful images. 8 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. Justice. about to drive a nail through his head. I just had to look at that a little closer. I'm like, oh dear. Well, there you go. Revenge. The Hermit. I love her lamp. Just wandering around with the lamp. Keeping her eye on everything. I love the High Priestess. Just an old crone. She's been there. She's lived life. She's wise. She's tired of the BS. She knows the shit. She's seen it all. You gotta love her. Just Chariot, no reins. Thank you very much. Okay. No cart either, but beautiful. I love this card. So this whole deck is like this. Just always, just a surprise kind of around every corner. Two of Cups. I love the working together. You know, Two of Cups doesn't always look like that. And this is, I love this. This is a little bit of a disturbing card. The Ace of Swords, sword in hand. Oof. But, you know, I love the Nine of Pentacles. So you get the idea. This is just a cool deck. Showing more. The Hanged Man. So, yeah. Great deck. Pensive Path Tarot. I think this is an Etsy thing, but I'm not exactly sure. I would just Google Pensive Path Tarot. I'm sure it'll pop up. But it's a great little deck, and it's a. I hear people say easy reader. I'm still not sure what that means. But for a beginner, believe it or not, in terms of a deck that's a little off from the standard Rider-Waite imagery, it's an easy reader. I think it can be a beginner's deck easily. So, oops, I forgot to put those in there, but I'll do that later. So the last but not least, the pièce de résistance for me is my beloved Rosebud Tarot. Amanda Lee Stillwell and Diana Rose Harper are the authors of this deck. It is going. It is gonna. It's available. I believe it's Etsy, or it might just be the rosebudtarot.com, something like that. But it is going mainstream, and it'll be available on Amazon. I want to say June, maybe earlier. These are the backs. This is a collage deck, and again, I'm not fond of collage decks because I can't read them. It's just like they're too busy, too much going on in the imagery. But this one is just so open and airy. Boraver. So they have renamed the suits just to the elements, which is super easy, and then they've renamed the court cards as well. But they're super easy to figure out. So Sovereignty of Fire is King of Wands. I love that old guy on a motorbike. Yeah. Sovereignty of Water, King of Water. She's ruling the roost there. The Star. So these cards, while kind of clean and open and breathy, they're still packed with imagery, and I love the Seven of Wands. So regal. And that hat, oh my God. Love. These are just so cool. The wheel, I love this. The upside down topsy-turvy carousel. Oh my gosh, I mean, come on. Who thinks of these things? Generosity of Fire is the queen. Generosity is the queen's. So this is the Queen of Wands. The pages are Curiosity, which I love. Curiosity of Earth. So the Page of Pentacles. And the, here's one of my favorite cards too, the Sun. It's like just utter joy on her face. Under the spotlight. In the cosmos. Shining bright. Judgment has been renamed Emergence. And they have renamed some of the major arcana, which I don't mind at all. They just do it with a lot of thought. So, what is the... there's curiosity, generosity. No, generosity is the queens. What are the knights? Velocity, I think. Yeah, velocity of fire. So that's the Knight of Wands. So curiosity, velocity, generosity, and sovereignty. Four of Pentacles. We know her. We've seen her. Oh my gosh! This is just. Oh, here's the moon. One of my faves also. And this deck laid out on the table is so beautiful together. Like I said, just lots of air. Just, you can breathe, you can read it. So that's my number one deck of 2022. Even though I've only had it for 4 months. It just popped right up to the top. The minute, it's one of these things where when you're first starting out and you watch a lot of TarotTube and you kind of start getting used to the lingo and you hear things like bonding with your deck. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. You know, I mean, I don't know what that means. It's a deck of cards. Come on. And I think I just never really experienced that until I got this deck. And then it was like, holy crap, I get it now. I get it. So, yeah. So I have, not only do I have a backup of that deck, I ordered the mass market because I thought, why not? Let's complete the set. So I have the deck, my first deck, which is this one. I got the backup second one, is just sitting there waiting until I possibly, because it's just a deck that I will never be able to live without. It's comforting to know that it's available on Amazon now, that maybe it won't ever go away. But at least I'm covered for the next 30 years. As my brother likes to say, we're at this age where it's like him and his wife were stewing about, he's a couple of years older than me. I'm 68, so he just turned 70. He just turned 70, about to turn 70. Anyways, him and his wife were stewing about they were going to invest in a new. They live down in Southern California. They do a lot of cooking outside, a lot of barbecuing. And so they were looking into getting a new outdoor grill. And they're going back and forth on which one to buy. And all the, cause there's so many out there now. It's just, who knows, depending on what features you want. Going back and forth, back and forth. And somebody said, why are you so worried about this? I mean, come on, it's, just make a decision. This guy says, well, when you think about it, it's probably the last barbecue we're ever going to buy. and the guy, whoever he was talking to, was kind of like, oh. So I kind of think about it that way now, about this stuff like, will this deck last me 30 years? Well, good, because I probably won't last another 30 years. So as long as the decks will, then I'm in good shape. So, yeah. Anyway, so that is my top 10 tarot of 22. Thank you, Lisa, for a great, whatever they call it, hashtag thing. And this is my first VR to anything. And my channel name is Star and Flurry. I'm just starting out. I've been recording a lot of videos just to get comfortable in front of the camera, because it's not always that easy to do that. And I'm starting to have some fun. And mostly my channel is just about telling stories. I've lived a long life, spent most of it in hospitality. So right there, the stories are going to be good. Every day was 50 good ones. 50, you're not going to believe what just happened to me stories. My crew kept me hopping, as did my customers, my guests. So I was an event planner for most of my life. So I got up close and personal with a lot of my clients, and it was just, and some lifelong friendships ensued out of those experiences. So anyways, so my channel is just about telling stories, about usually doing a reading for myself because I don't feel adept enough at reading for others. And yet I do try to pull a card for the collective every day as well, or every time I post a video. And that's pretty much it. So come on over and take a look. And thank you for this this great tag. This is really fun. And I had fun. Okay, thanks a lot. Pay attention to all the miracles that fall around you every day. They're important. Talk to you later. Bye.